behind me is the Suzuki Vision E-Sky. It's a small electric car from Suzuki. Now, in the larger scheme of things, it sits below the e-Vitara, and yeah, it has that typical key car kind of aesthetic to it. Although I must say that the front with the screen kind of arrangement, the pixelated look is very smart, very modern. The C-shaped lighting, you can imagine how it might look in production form. It's very compact, very minimal. But overall, the design, it does remind you of, say, an older Alto maybe, or even the current Alto that we have. There's just hints of it there. It's much bigger than the Alto. We don't have the exact dimensions yet, but it's a fully born electric kind of architecture. So the battery pack is underneath. And to give you an idea, it's bigger than the Alto, about the size of a Celerio, not as tall as a Wagoner, but anyway, I think it looks smart. Those tiny mirrors, the way the boxy flat sides. It's a smart looking EV car, and of course, and as you have with EVs, even in a small key car such as this, the wheels have actually grown. And you also have flush door handles. Right there behind, above the rear wheel arches, you can see is the charging port. Now, the interiors of the Vision E-Sky are very different from, say, the e-Vitara. This is more kind of that living space kind of concept. There's a lot more recycled materials, the kind you find in so many EVs. For example, you can see the knitted finish here. You can see the kind of lighting that's there. It's something you might put in your house. Similarly, you have all the plastic material. That's a neat touch where you have that plant holder. Maybe more rationally, you could put a bottle there. And even this instrumentation is very different from what we've seen Suzuki cars before. So you have this kind of squircle steering wheel. Again, it's very much the fashion these days. This small knob kind of arrangement. There are no hard buttons, sadly. You have this panel here. But the AC again has that very minimal kind of design. You have that kind of horizontal, fully flat EV kind of space here. There's also that neat arrangement for the wireless charging. And I must say the seats, they are very concept-like. But like most of these K cars, space is maximized. So the flat, boxy shape gives you a lot of headroom. The space always space enough for 4 people, even though it's not a very wide car. And then when you come to the doors, you will notice that the panels again are very minimal, very lightly done. Just a few simple buttons to open the door, lock it, and so on. There are no door handles. You have a button to lock and unlock the door. Now let me show you what the back seat is like. Now these seats don't feel like they are production ready, but it's a good idea the kind of space I might have. Again, you have that fully flat floor. Remember, this is not for the Indian market. Maybe we'll get a version with the same platform, some other car. But so there's just 2 Type-C vents, no rear AC vents and so on. But again, I must say, for 4 people, a small family, it's a good car. And with the 270 kilometers of range that Suzuki is claiming for this, it's going to be a good buy. Maybe it won't come to India in this form, but maybe an EV which is a size smaller than the e-Vitara might make a lot of sense with this kind of battery pack. Maybe this general theme. Now, as you can see from the rear, the Vision E-Sky looks a lot like these Japanese kind of small cars. Got that flat, boxy look to it to maximize space. I can't open the boot, so I can't show you the space. You get a good idea what this car might look like in production spec. Very minimal kind of lighting. And again, that neat kind of recycled touches that you have inside the cabin have also been repeated here, which I think looks quite nice.